Welcome back to Severed Sons, everyone. We are a Frostmaiden actual play D&D podcast, and we are excited to bring you tales of the Frozen North and the everlasting Rime. My name is Ron Murphy, Dungeon Master, and around the virtual table we have...
Hey, it's Paul. What's good?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ross.
Hey guys, it's Blake.
Hey everybody, I'm Josh.
Good day. I am Zach.
Day already?
I'm Claire.
And? Oh, you said it.
It just cut off on
No, I didn't hear it.
It's just like,
But the listeners.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It went real high. So.
It's like, Claire. Okay.
I went,
Let's get right into it, okay? This is a very, very important episode.
Jesus Christ.
If everyone is ready, let's begin. No, we're not ready.
I mean, I'm ready, but I'm not.
Well, let's begin tonight's episode of Severed Sons, episode 35, A Meeting of the Stubborn Minds. Last time, Kai, you were overlooking the main plaza in Bryn Shander. To the north, the Shardlin dragon continued its deadly assault. Amidst the panicking throng of people in the plaza, you could also see Ryan Rockwell running hand in hand with a large and imposing red-haired giant of a man. Attempting to stop the dragon's rampage, you ran to the north as Ryan disappeared into the crowd. The rest of you arrived at the battleground shortly after Kai. Fang, you climbed up to the roof of a building, while you and the rest of the party pelted the construct with spells and missile weapons, knocking large rocky chunks from its body. The dragon retreated, and as it did, it flew close to the cleric, allowing the evil, corrupting nature of the Shardlin to take hold of Fang's mind. You continued to launch distant attacks, but under the influence of the dragon, Fang attacked you, distracting you enough to allow the dragon to escape. Donar and Kai, you brought Fang back to his senses as the creature disappeared into the snow clouds south of the city. After the fight, Kai, you searched in the plaza for any sign of Ryan and the man, while the rest of you investigated a disturbance at the town hall. Donar, before entering, you were told that Trovis, the sheriff and speaker of Caer Konig, had been killed while defending the town, which made Deputy Donar the new sheriff. Inside, you discovered that McGregor, the man who had been accompanying Ryan, had saved Speaker Duvessa Shane's life during a Durgarian assassination attempt. After tense words were exchanged, you were invited to return for a 10 towns council meeting that evening, and Mishan of Lathander invited you to rest at the temple until then. After reuniting with Kai, he told you of how deadly and dangerous a villain Meathook was, and how imperative it was to stop him. As you were walking back to the temple, you were joined by Captain Scath, who told you that his boss, the Speaker of Targos, was the leader of this Interim in Icewind Dale, and that Ryan Rockwell was his undercover agent, and keeping tabs on the activities of the Meathook's organization, the Juggernaut. That evening, you arrived at the location for the meeting, seeing two familiar faces, Speaker Nimsy Huddle of Lonelywood, and Russell the Berry Shrub. And all together, you entered the building, anxiously awaiting the start of the meeting. I'd like everyone except for Kai and Brun to go off headset.
You got it, boss.
Neat.
Kai, I'm just going to be out and open about this, okay?
Oh
God. You notice Brun watching you like a hawk, and you're having trouble getting away without him noticing. What do you do?
don't you have somewhere to be?
Do you have somewhere else to be?
Got something to take care of.
You are very mysterious, Kai. That has been obvious since the day that we met. I have tried to understand you and, to be honest, trust you, but while you have not been untrustworthy, you have been, well, not always present. And I believe where you must go is indeed where you must go. All that I ask is whatever you are doing does not interfere with this meeting. It is the most important thing right now.
You got it.
I hope your path is safe.
I guess we'll see.
We shall.
I'm just gonna turn and look at Scath and say, "Can we chat?"
Yeah. Let's go chat. I'm not supposed to go to this meeting, but I can hold off leaving town for a second. I'm giving another chance to punch you in the nose. Haven't done that in a while.
I just need your help.
Let's go.
And I start to walk off.
And he disappears down an alleyway. And let's get everybody back on headset. While you were preparing to leave to go to the meeting, you noticed that Kai and Brun went outside to have a conversation, and only Brun returned. This is before you've gone to the meeting hall, so this is kind of backtracking a little bit.
So where are we at the present?
I think you were at the House of the Morning Lord.
Yes. And Russell hasn't shown up yet?
No, you haven't gone to the meeting house yet,
Great.
so you haven't seen him.
And
So upon seeing that, Donar would say, Brun, I don't want to pry. I know we've got some serious things going on, but where's our buddy, Shinobi? What's going on?
When has Kai ever been one to be upfront? He talked to the man, Scath, and took him. He asked for his help. I had a very brief conversation with him, and I believe this is what is best for him and for us. I do not think we will see him at the meeting.
All right, dude. Okay, that does stress me out a little bit, because I was maybe counting on some help from him, but that's fine. I trust your judgment. Holy fuck, okay.
Fang's eyes kind of squint, and he says, Kai will not be at the meeting. The same meeting that Meat Hook McGregor will be at.
I have my worries as well, but he gave me his word that the meeting would go on uninterrupted, and take for that as you will, but it is what he told me. And in that moment, I believe he was telling the truth.
And you say he is with Scat?
Yes.
Hmm.
He asked, all I heard is him ask for his help with something.
Fang just silently nods, kind of takes that in introspectively.
Spitz will go up to Donar and gently put a hand on his shoulder and say, I know that this is a lot,
Yeah.
but if anyone can do this in this room, it's you. We're all here for you. We're here to support you. If you need anything at all, just let us know.
Spitz, you freaking rock. I appreciate it. I believe you. I wouldn't want to have another team by my side. There are just so many fucking variables, man. Like, I don't know. I got kind of a game plan in mind, but I'm sweating through my scales, dude.
Don't worry, we've got your back, and each of your scales, too.
Oh, thanks, there's so many.
I wasn't actually aware that you could sweat. I don't
Well,
sweat.
Trax, nobody cares.
Sorry.
Nobody cares right now.
Not related. Stream of consciousness
No,
kind of thing.
I appreciate the
It's
bit of
okay.
levity. I think it's nice.
Donar,
It's true.
I was once told by a friend of mine that the way one eats is the way one works. And if that is true, my friend, we are in for a show.
I'm not gonna, flambe anything. But I'm clearly deflecting with humor because
Metaphorically.
I'm uncomfortable, but I appreciate it, Brun. I'm going to try to be methodical. I'm trying to be responsible. He's going to look down at his former deputy, now Sheriff Star, and say, I'm going to freaking do it for Trovis and for the Dale and for all of y'all and all the good people,
And that was the moment that Brun passed his inspiration on to you.
Ooh, sweet. Thank you, dude.
So continuing on, it gets close to 8 bells. You know that they're going to open the meeting house at 7:30 to let some people of the public observe. They're usually, these meetings are kind of boring and really annoying for most people. They don't like going to them, so usually no one attends. But outside the meeting hall, it's very crowded. You kind of have to get guards to help usher you through. Who all is going to go inside? Everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Suppose if they'll let us.
Yeah, they will. all of you are together.
On the way there, Fang would have a sharp eye out for Fang. Or, idiot, for Kai.
You see yourself.
I look so good.
He perceives.
You walk past an icy window, and you just see your reflection. It's like,
Oh, Christ. He's looking for Kai.
make a perception check.
Okay. God, I gotta look it up. It's been a month and a half since we played. 9.
9. No sign of the shinobi.
Okay.
Is everybody on roll 20? Can you see the meeting hall?
Yeah.
Yes.
This is a balcony, the lower part. This battle map was created by Graham in our Discord, and he is a patron, and it's amazing.
Hell yeah.
So thank you, Graham, for that. It looks amazing.
I'm loving this couch.
I was just gonna say that.
Downstage left.
No,
Yes.
can we get on the couch?
That's a big couch.
Well, as you walk in, you see McGregor and Ryan sitting on it.
Boo.
Oh, he would be on that couch.
Do they look to be in conversation or anything? What's the mood?
Somewhat. Kind of like he's relaxed, kind of laying back. Like you see he's so big that the couch is actually kind of like sagging a little bit. And Ryan is sitting next to him, more observant than he is. He just seems to be enjoying the attention, and he's getting a lot of attention. People are kind of coming up and like talking to him, and he kind of waves them away. There's a man in a fur-lined tuxedo, for lack of a better word. It has like a long, stringy black tie, and he comes over and hands on a tray a bottle. It's like, and you overhear somebody say, "That's Speaker Duvessa's personal favorite brand. It must be a gift from her." So the entry hall is right up, if I recall. It's right here on the upper left corner.
Oh,
So we just
gotcha.
kinda
You came in
there.
up there. Lots of people milling about. You see a few people up on the stage, which is up a few feet above the ground. And there's stairs. It's actually low enough that you could probably just kind of like hop up to get up to it. It's less than like 3 feet off the ground, but you just can't kind of like easily step up onto it. And there's stairs to get up to the balcony, which is about 10 feet off the ground.
Do those people look like the town speakers we've met?
Some of them. You see Duvessa, who is actually Duvessa, and the sheriff is at her side. There are 10 chairs, comfortable-looking chairs, on the dais. You see Nimsy up there, but Russell is lost in the crowd. You don't see Russell. You see Speaker Wayland from East Haven. And you see the Captain Argalath standing close by. You also see Speaker Maxidanar from Targos.
Yep.
And you also see, you don't see any other speakers. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 speakers. And that's it, that you recognize.
Donar's looking around for like a court stenographer or somebody running the meeting, some kind of stage manager to talk to. Basically.
You do see, actually, Michonne is running the meeting. Let me write that down.
Oh, sweet.
And she is set up here, and Copper Knobberknocker is at the book inscribing, like he's got a quill with a long feather sticking up, and he's ready to inscribe into the book the minutes of the meeting.
Upon seeing them, Donar's going to turn heel back to the group and with a sigh say, "All right, see y'all on the other side. If you can, if it's an open forum, if you can speak up, I'd appreciate the help because I might stammer a little bit. I've never spoken in front of this many people, and I don't know what's going to happen. But I'm going to see if I can get on that stage."
Fang walks up to him, puts a hand on his shoulder. He says, "Donar, we have come a long way together. You must know that you are not the same Dragonborn that left the Temple of the Wandering Spirits long ago.
That's true, dude.
You have many titles, and you have much more to offer than you think that you do. You will be fine."
Dude, Thank you, my guy. I worry that I'm still capable of making the same mistakes. Some of these are like internal and they're going to be there for a while, but today I'm going to try to turn a little bit.
It is a new day.
See you in a few. And with a nod, Donar's going to walk over to that center table and engage in conversation if they're not busy.
Okay. Michonne, what are the rest of you doing while he does that?
Spitz is kind of keeping an eye out for Speaker Dermute. I know that she...
Yeah, she's actually already up on the dais. You see her kind of going up there. She has a broken arm, I believe is what I said last time. And she seems very alone. There's no one else with her.
If she has the chance, Spitz would go and...
You're taller than everybody. Yeah, she sees you coming. She comes up. She walks to the edge of and she actually is she's kind of like a short little old lady, like wilderness tough looking. And she comes up and she's actually just eye to eye with you, like as she's standing on top of them. And she looks at you and it's like, Spitfire, it's good to see you.
It's great to see you too.
Are you okay? I heard that you were fighting the dragon.
I am okay. I am truly devastated to hear about Dugan's Hole. You have my sincerest apologies that we couldn't do more sooner. If there's anything you need of me, please let me know.
We will rebuild stronger. I am confident of that. Many of us escaped into the woods, but we lost many of our own. And she kind of looks kind of a little upset, and she says, do you know who did this? Were you able to find anything out?
We have some inklings. I think more will come to light throughout this meeting. But know that I'm here for you, and I'm so glad to see you here.
Dugan's Hole could use your rage right about now.
It's always at the ready.
And she actually leans down and gives you a one-armed hug.
Oh, Spitz will hug her back.
And she gets up and says, I have not seen Fila in quite a long time. Have you heard from her?
Assholes.
There is some complicated news with that. Fila's not quite herself these days. But I believe that the person she is would be safe.
She looks confused, but so she's okay.
Too.
So she's okay.
I think so. My next goal is to find her.
And you see Michonne talking to Donar, and we'll go over there in a second, but she looks like she's trying to get things to calm down. Trax, what are you doing?
So anyway, Trax is he's very focused on McGregor right now, so I think he's kind of pretend mingling.
Okay.
You know, how's it going?
I'd like you to...
And he's kind of just trying to...
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, he's just trying to kind of see what he's doing.
Make a perception check.
It's going to be a 14.
You look over at the balcony, and you see a familiar-looking half-elf that looks like you, just sitting up there. He's actually talking to a human woman that you don't recognize.
So he's going to be like, and then he's going to see that and immediately dash over there.
All of you see Trax kind of start to weave through, tiny tracks, weave through legs all over the place. Okay. Brun, what do you do?
Brunel, I feel like this is kind of all happening at the same time. So Fang is watching Donar leave, Brun is watching Trax run that way. Brunel kind of grab Fang's shoulder and turn him around and just point out Trax moving towards the McGregor and elf body.
Okay.
He won't say anything.
Got it. Okay, Fang, what are you doing?
Fang has... He considers going after Trax for a hot second, doesn't see what he's looking at, but assumes he knows best for himself at this moment, and Fang is very very concerned with keeping an eye on McGregor. So he kind of just casually tails this side wall right at the entrance and kind of picks a spot right up against the wall. If there's a stool, he'll sit on it, but probably standing up against the wall so his eyes can scan the whole room. His right eye kind of focused, his peripheral vision focused on McGregor, and then his attention and body focus is toward the stage.
Bruno, once Fang leaves and Brun kind of clocks that Fang's got his eyes on that, Trax is doing his thing, Spitz is talking to people. Bruno will take if it's open, this seat closest to the door, and he's putting on that old man thing he does. Like, he's going slow.
It looks like they're reserving the seats on the floor for, like, at least in the front, for people who are involved or have connections to people on the dais.
Mm.
So, like, you actually look over and you see Russell kind of sitting back here.
Then I'll go try to sit with Russell.
Okay. Russell says, how did Russell know you as? Who were you at the mummy?
Slush?
That would have been Slush.
Yeah.
Russell goes, Slush, it's good to see you. Would you like a berry?
I would love a berry. It's Brun now.
Oh, nice to meet you, Brun.
Long story, my friend. You as well. How are the kids?
They are safe. I've kept them very safe.
Where are they now?
They're actually, there is a back room behind the dais. Some of the family are being protected there. Family of the speakers are back there being protected.
Ah, good. May I sit with you? Are these reserved?
Please, I would enjoy your company. I would like to hear all about how you've been doing.
Oh, I will tell you everything.
Oh, I would like that.
Until the meeting begins. And he'll sit down
and
with
he puts two little, like, shrubby hands on his chin, shrubby chin, and listens.
Well, we met this bear woman.
I met a bear woman outside.
That must be Spitz.
Okay, Trax, you're heading up the stairs.
Yeah, he just kind of lost all cool and is just dashing as fast as he can up those stairs towards them.
And you get up there, and you see the man and the woman look at you as you run up the stairs, kind of like that's kind of strange. They are actually kind of like back here. There's more chairs than what's actually on the map, but they're not close to McGregor. They're kind of like here.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're kind of watching you, like a strange looking kobold running up the stairs, and they go back to talking, trying to ignore you. What do you do? They looked right at you, by the way.
So he's probably like, excuse me.
Can I help you? And you hear this Icewind Dale accent come out of him.
I'm sorry, do you not recognize me?
I don't. Who are you? My name's Willard.
Willard, oh. Wow, master of disguise, Willard. What accent is that anyway? Are you making that up?
The woman says, What's going on here? Who are you? Get out of here. This is very important. Stop disturbing. You're being a disturbance. Get out of here. And the Willard goes, now, I'm sorry, but you're disturbing my woman here. I'm going to have to ask you to leave now.
I'm going to insight check. Not the woman part. I fully believe that I'm disturbing his woman. But the other stuff.
Make an insight check.
Oh, that's an 8.
He's telling the truth. He is he's just being very, like, he doesn't seem to recognize you at all.
And I'm gonna jump up and I'm gonna grab his cuffs. His collar, and Trax is just gonna pull him close and say, "Is this your original body?"
Not in front of people. I made a deal with somebody.
Son of
What's wrong?
We'll talk after this. Don't go anywhere.
Oh, okay. What's your name?
You don't need to know that.
I gave you mine. It's only common courtesy.
It's Trax.
Nice to meet you, Trax. And he's being really hushed now, kind of like the woman's kind of like, what's going on? Tell me, what?
So as I walk away, I just kind of do like the
Yeah.
watching you.
Yep. Everybody saw this on the floor. He was not being stealthy or quiet in the least bit. And after like Trax walks away, the crowd starts kind of mumbling amongst themselves again.
As Fang can see the whole room, Fang sees, once Trax jumps and grabs the guy's collar, Fang just, and casts Vigilant Blessing on himself, giving him advantage for the initiative roll that is sure to come.
Okay. So we go to Donar, and Michonne and Cobbernobber Knocker.
That guy.
Say that 12 times
3 times fast.
Hey.
And
Irish wristwatch.
There it is.
Irish
wristwatch. Okay.
That's tough, man.
She sees you coming and says, "Good Donar. Sheriff Donar, I should say."
Yeah, actually, that was what I was going to lead with. Donar's going to take off his shutter shades, and he's going to clip them to his, like, the collar of his robe, so they're just hanging at the ready, but so they look casual. Sheriff, that was actually my first question. Of course, the untimely and super tragic death of our bud Travis puts me in kind of an interesting position, and I was wondering if it'd be all right for the two of you if I, in this setting, speak on behalf of the town of Kerkonig.
I was going to ask if you would do that, actually.
Oh, thank Torm, dude.
I was looking through I have all of the town charters here in my book, and I was looking through, and there usually is a sheriff and a speaker, but because Trovis had both roles, there was no one to take on the job of speaker. And
right.
Deputizing deputies are not a thing that's in the charter, but because of the extenuating circumstances, we will definitely let you represent Kerkonig tonight.
I appreciate that. I promise that I will do so with a clear head and an open mind, and I will not speak blasphemously on behalf of the town. I'm here to help, you know?
We know. I do know.
Thank you. All right, so...
You hear Copper says, "Well, they didn't help me much," writing into the book.
In fairness, my guy, our plates have been spinning like crazy for like a month straight. I haven't slept in like 4 days. So I'll help you as soon as I can, I promise. I'll cook you a nice meal. Not the time to talk about that. Where do I sit?
Michonne points to the dais and says, "You're one of the smaller towns, so you're in the back."
Sure. Okay, cool. Good. Awesome. Thank you for this. Everything's gonna go great. And Donar's gonna walk off and up those stairs.
Donar, come back for a second.
Oh, yeah. What's up?
"May the light of Lathander shine brightly upon you." And she blesses you. Not that it'll last long, but it's a proper blessing.
I really appreciate that. May your favorite kind of potato come into your life sooner than expected before the next brunch.
She laughs and says, "Fingerlings?"
No one's talking about finger. Okay, we'll talk about it later. It's great. I'm glad you brought it up. And he'll walk up those side stairs and grab, I guess, just one of those empty seats in the back row.
You notice that, counting you know that, oh God, what was his name from Tourmaline? Masthew. Speaker Masthew is not here.
Gotcha. Okay.
And also, Speaker Masthew is not here. You actually see someone staring at you as you get up onto, and it's this human ranger with a green cloak, and there's a fox sitting in his lap, and he's staring you down. And he's sitting in the seats marked for Goodmead.
I'll give him a quick 2-finger salute, and then take my seat and fold my hands in my lap.
There's room enough where you can kind of like 2 seats in between the two of you. So
yes,
yeah, you don't have to sit next to him.
He's up on stage.
He's up on stage in one of the seats. Yeah.
Good. Great. Thank you.
Okay. Michonne says, "Can we have some order? We need to get this meeting underway before it gets too late. Time is of the essence." And you see her stand up on stage and says, May this meeting of the speakers come to order. May the light of Lathander bless us in these times of dire need. And she nods, and she actually holds up a hand, and a beam of light kind of shines warmly over the audience, and everybody just kind of settles down and quiet and sits down. You see Speaker Dermute from Dugan's Hole is in this chair in the back, in the middle. Actually, this is the ranger from Goodmead. And Speaker Dermute walked over to this far seat over here. Speaker Duvessa is in the center. And Speaker Wayland is next to her in the center. Maxadanar is next to Duvessa. So that is 6 people total out of the 10.
Wow.
Looking out over the crowd, you see some familiar faces. You see Captain Argalath standing close by in the front row on the house right side. And you see Ali and Corey Shogard from East Haven. Actually, no, from Caer-Konig, sorry. They're from Caer-Konig. And you see Russell out there. And you see several others, but like nobody you really recognize.
Fang is scanning for Valin and Avarice.
You do not see either of them. No roll needed.
Okay.
Duvessa, Michonne says, "Let us recognize the dead. Let's go by city." Just because I've got them written down this way, I'm going to go in the order that they were attacked. Speaker Dermute stands up, comes to the front of the stage, and says, "The entire town of Dugan's Hole has been razed to the ground, including the docks and all our boats. 25 of us were killed." And crying, she walks back. The ranger comes up the front and says, "I'm Fife Moran. I recognize Goodmead. We managed to save the livestock in the town, and 25 of us were killed. 99% of the structures in town are destroyed. The mead hall still stands. However, there are giants currently inhabiting the wreckage." And he goes and sits back down. Speaker Wayland stands up and says, "Due to the efforts of our militia, led by Captain Argalath, and these noble adventurers," and he points to Donar and to those he can see in the crowd of you, "only 50 people were killed, and only a few buildings were destroyed by the dragon. The White Lady suffered some damage, partially collapsing. It is repairable, and many lives were saved. And the dragon was driven from our walls, from our city." Michonne says, "Speaker Seaver? Last call for Speaker Seaver." And she looks around. "Is there anyone here from Caer Dineval who can report on the situation in Caer Dineval?" And not a single soul answers. Caer-Konig?
Don't I roll? Oh no, you go ahead.
You see Ali and Corey, and they kind of wave at you, and like, we haven't had a chance to talk to you. They say as she kind of comes up to the front. "I didn't know if I was going to have to represent the town."
Well, I'm happy to do that. Donar will clear his throat and look at the room and say, "Hello, everyone. I know a lot of you don't know me. My name is Donar Dracodoni, and I was deputized by Caer-Konig's late speaker and sheriff, Travis. And I'm happy to take on the responsibility. And actually, he's going to look down and point at the two of them. I'm glad you spoke up, because I believe in this setting," putting his hands up, "an open forum is going to help us a lot in terms of the prognosis of the Dale. So, since I do not have an update on Caer-Konig, would you care to inform the room as to the state of the town?"
And Ali gets up on stage. Corey kind of helps her get up.
I'll help him too.
And Ali says, "Due to the bravery of our speaker, Trovis was slain by the dragon, but drove the creature away. Only a few buildings were damaged and razed to the ground. Only 50 people in the town were killed. However, also killed in the battle was a tennis Swift from Frozen Far Expeditions was killed. What Trovis did to save the city, he saved all our lives. And we will rebuild stronger.
Absolutely.
And Allie kind of starts crying and goes over and hugs Donar.
I'll give it my full attention to the hug, politically, I guess, like a politician would. And then once waiting for her to pull away, and once she does, I'll turn back to the room and say, "Let us not forget the sacrifices that were made by those who are not with us at this moment. Unfortunately, we will not be able to hear all of the recaps from those brave souls who are no longer with the 10 Towns. But if I may say to the citizens of Kerkonig, and to anyone else who is not concerned because you don't freaking know me, I will embody the same bravery as Trovis did as the interim deputy sheriff speaker of Kerkonig. I don't really know my title, but I'll be good."
You hear McGregor shout, "Hear, hear!"
And you know what? I'm glad you spoke up, sir, because what I think we should do, moving forward, I believe the most important next step for the 10 Towns, as someone who's done a lot of exploring recently, is working forward to protect the Dale. And I think a round of applause for the man in the back for saving the speaker from poison.
The audience, and you see Duvessa kind of nod and smile at McGregor. Michonne says, "Donar, thank you for your words. The fate and direction of what we're going to do is on our agenda, but it's much later in the
Gotcha, right. Got excited. I just wanted to highlight our hero in the back. Don't worry. I appreciate it. I'll take my seat, and I will stick to the agenda. Thank you." And he'll turn heel and sit upstage right.
You see those who are watching, McGregor's smirking right now. Michonne says, Speaker Matthew from Tourmaline. Speaker from Tourmaline? And you see this older fisherman stand up from the crowd and says, "Most of the town is in good shape. The militia were able to drive off the dragon before it did too much damage. However, it appears as if the Speaker Matthew led a great many of us into the mines. A large explosion was heard from the mines, and when we went to investigate to help those who had fled there for security, looks like the cave entrance had been damaged and caved in, and currently they are trapped in the mine."
I would say Fang is writing all of this down in his journal. Just the relevant.
Okay.
Is there a reaction to that, like in the crowd?
Yeah, there is. There's very, very much a... we have workers, the fisherman continues, we have workers attempting to dig out some miners who are helping say that it looks like sabotage. After this meeting, anyone who wishes to return to Tourmaline with me to aid in the recovery effort, any aid would be appreciated. And you see some strong men, workers from the audience kind of raise their hand and like, "We will aid you, we will help you." The next is Speaker Nimsy, who gets up from the back row, and she says, "Such a sad occasion. I only wish that I could have... Normally I bring cookies for all of you who are attending the meeting, but one, there's too many of you, and also I did not have time to light my fires as we were fleeing. The good adventurers," and she points to Donar, "what do you call yourselves? I do not know how to thank you properly."
Well, we didn't have time to light our fires on that as well. If I may borrow your phrasing, we haven't exactly named ourselves. I don't really think that's important at the present moment. We've done our best to protect the Dale, and I think food is a very important part of that. So next time you're looking to provide cookies, I'll help you bake in bulk. Don't you worry.
Thank you. You were always coming to the Dale's rescue. Thank you, Donar.
We certainly try. Thank you very much.
Because of the warning provided by the Falcon sent by your group, no lives were lost in Lonelywood.
Oh, thank.
And you look over and you see, you actually see a familiar face because she stands up and applauds, and the rest of the people gets up. You see this raven-haired, beautiful woman who was the barkeep at the Lucky Liar. And she applauds.
Kai's date.
Spitz is actively crying as she's sitting.
However, the entire town was destroyed. But as others have said, we will rebuild. And she's crying. She says, thank you. And sits back down. The speaker from Bremen, Speaker Scalescar. As we know, we've had witnesses that the dragon attacked many of those from Bremen and sank and killed 2/3 of the people who were on from Bremen in those boats. An estimate was made of how many people left. A total of 100 people, Michonne says, have been reported missing or deceased, and the entire town was razed to the ground. Speaker Maxidenar stands up and says, because of the fight that the militia of Targos and these strong adventurers who were there, we drove the dragon from our walls. And we will help provide security and help rebuild any town that needs it. I vow on my life. Only 100 people were killed in the attack. And he sits back down. Then Speaker Duvessa stands back up and says, we still have an issue. The dragon still lives. The Duragar who fought at its side are still hiding amongst us. Vigilance must be adhered to at all times because of the efforts of militia and, again, these adventurers. And several magic users, I believe. We only lost a few buildings, and only 200 people were killed in the attacks. Most of them outside of town, refugees. I vow that we will help the other towns rebuild. And with that, she says, I've been speaking with Mr. McGregor, and she points up to the couch. His organization from Luskin, he came to the town hall. They have found a new supply route, and they are offering to get us the supplies and the food from the south that we so desperately need. From here on out, I call a halt to the sacrifices to Arl. We no longer need her aid. We have McGregor's. They can get us what we need to survive.
And with that, Donna's going to lean forward and say, you know what? Once again, I'm glad that you're highlighting this, because I think this meeting is a time for transparency and to make sure that we all know as a Dale what we're getting ourselves into and who can protect us. So he's going to look back at McGregor and say, sir, would you care to fill us in on who you, because I don't know a ton about you. Would you care to fill in the good folks about this group and what they can expect in terms of protection from you? And did you say Juggernaut?
From, he stands up. Are you accusing me of something?
No, sir, I'm looking to you for protection from outside sources. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about trade routes from the south. And if you were able to save the good speaker from poison, you certainly knew a lot about helping the good people. And this, he's going to open his hands up to the room. This is a group of people who are in dire need of help. And I think you might be the one to do it.
He stands up and says, I am not a man of many words, but I am a man of action.
That's good. That's good. Right now in the meeting, we're doing words, though, is the thing. Because we've had a lot of action as a Dale. Last couple of days, it's been nuts. And I understand the need to swing a sword, the need to hold a shield over those you're protecting. But I believe it would greatly benefit the Dale to hear about your plans, hear about what you've done in the past. Like if you've got a freaking battle resume, I don't know a ton about that. You'd help me out a lot. I know public speaking, right? It's tough, but I think it would greatly benefit everyone in the room if we could hear some more from you, sir.
Because you're speaking more to the audience than you are to McGregor, who's basically mentally telling you to fuck off. I'd like you to make a persuasion roll, and this is to the audience, to basically everyone else.
Can we help him?
He has
sway the crowd.
I do have an inspiration.
Yeah, tell us more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fang.
We're all yeah. Tell us more, please.
I think you're hearing the crowds from the people.
Trax coughs.
Okay. Are you going to make a roll, or are you going to kind of wait?
I'm gonna make a roll.
Okay.
And I'm gonna use my inspiration. I'm gonna use my inspiration here.
Okay.
Rolling my 2 Starbuck purple Donar dice.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that, you said persuasion? That is going to be a dirty 20.
Okay.
Nice.
I believe the people deserve to hear from their hero. Another round of applause. And don't feel like you have to stick to that couch back there. Make sure that we can really see you and hear you. If you want to come up to this, Copper, I don't want to make you move your stuff around none, but if you want to come up to this table so we can really make sure we hear you. It's kind of tough hearing you on the back there.
Making me move.
I can help you.
Pulls the...
Actually, Donar's going to look to some of the strong folks who volunteered to help rebuild before. I know the room's kind of tough to navigate. You don't have, if you got your stuff, could we get a couple volunteers to help move this dude's stuff to the center here?
Mm-hmm.
Spitz immediately goes.
Don't be shy about
Okay.
it. We're all pals here. Come on. Just up to this table in the center if you don't mind.
And he walks to all the way, and the balcony is kind of creaks as he steps. He's just such a big man. Walks to the stairs, creaks down, goes down to the center, and then walks up the middle aisle to the table.
I appreciate it. I know no one wants to walk around more right now. I appreciate you doing that.
Fang counters him a little bit and kind of like moves back the wall toward Ryan, then back toward the couch just to get a closer eye on her and a wider shot of the room.
All the theater terms.
If you'd like to know what countering means, we'll talk about it in the theater chat, in the Theater Kid on the Discord. So
I would also like
Fang,
to say...
can you cheat out?
Yes.
Can you cheat out?
As Spitz puts some of his stuff next to him, she makes a point to look down at him and then go back to her seat.
Brun is kind of using his position in the room to try to listen for mumblings or like just to kind of get a feel for the general crowd, like if they're...
make an insight check.
That is a 13.
You feel like the crowd is questioning the people of Icewind Dale, the ones that you've met. They aren't rubes. I mean, they're very strong and hardy people, but they
questioning, like kind of doubting McGregor.
They're not pushovers.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
How he can do it? Yeah. McGregor says, "Now listen here.
Yeah, tell us.
We have a fleet of boats in Luskan. We can get the boats up through. We have icebreakers. We can get through the sea of moving ice, and we can make landfall at Revel's End." And you hear Fife say, kind of like cough when he says Revel's End. Fife the Ranger. And he continues and says, "We have an entire ship loaded with food, supplies, grain, the things that you need to survive. We can get lumber from the southern forest so that none of the trees here will be touched."
That's really nice. I wouldn't have considered that, dude. You're thinking of the trees. I really appreciate it. Now, if I may butt in for a second, I'm sure you see a lot of nervous faces in the room. These people have seen a lot of destruction over the last couple of days. The plan moving forward sounds like it's really solid. What I want to do, speaking for Kaer Koenig, if I may, is take a couple steps back and learn a little bit more about you, because these people have got to be able to trust you. I know you're capable. You saved a speaker. So there is some darkness going on that the speaker over here was poisoned. Some bad shit is going down, and you stopped it. Now, I'm sorry, what was it that you said? The Juggernaut is your group?
Yes, we are the Juggernaut.
So what's the deal with the Juggernaut? How many people do you have going on there? What can they do for the Dale? How'd you get started? I want to hear the whole story.
We have a large organization. We have farmers. We have laborers. We are a large group of people who have seen and understand your plight. Trax, you know this is bullshit. Juggernaut's like 20 people max.
How many? What are your numbers, sir? How many would you say are part of your group?
Do you want me to list names? I can list names.
Yeah.
when the ship gets here, I can have them all meet you in person.
Ron, I don't want you to have to list names, but Donor would make him list names.
He starts listing names. Make an insight check, everybody.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, natural 20, 25.
Oh, hell yeah. That's a
He's
16.
pausing too much in between to kind of like he's coming up with things.
No,
Oh no.
I got a 7, but it's probably because he's not paying. He's 100%. Trax is definitely like.
Brun is just silent, shaking his head.
That's me turning around.
No, I'm
Okay.
I'm noting a little trepidation here, sir. Are these newer members of the forces? Because it seems like you're not. I struggle with names too, but it's hard to remember if they've just started with you.
Mr. Donar.
That's me.
That's your name?
Yeah. Well, I've got a last name, but you can call me whatever.
You know, and he actually turns to Duvessa and says, "Speaker, if I'm going to be talked down like this, I can withdraw my offer.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm not trying to talk down. I'm not trying to condescend at all. I'm trying to understand. I've had a long couple of days as well, and I just think I'm trying to learn a little bit more about. Where did you say that you were based? Where's your group based?
Out of Luskin.
Oh, Luskin. So if you're doing protection in Luskin, then the murder of Maxwell Rockwell must have been a big hit to the group.
And you see him just go white.
And there was another one connected to that, right? We were hearing about it all through our event. We were hearing about it at the monastery. What was the name? It was Maxwell Rockwell. It was Kai Greenswift, right? Blue Swift? I think it was Kai Greenswift.
I will not stand here and be insulted like this.
Hold on. What happened? Insulted?
And
it seemed like a
you
sad
see
event.
You see him snap, and Ryan stands up.
So
and starts coming down.
Hold on. I may have crossed a line. Not trying to condescend. Once again, sir, that's not really in my nature. You can ask anybody who knows me. I'm a friend to all. We talk about potatoes all the time. But if these were very, very tragic murders that happened in Luskin, and I imagine it must have been difficult for your group if you want to vent about it. Like, it's a safe space. Like I said, open forum, open dialogue. What happened? What happened there?
The murderer of Maxwell was committed by Kai.
By Kai Greenswift?
Yes. I was the one who caught him in the act, and I was the one who put him down.
I'd love to insight check that, if I may.
Okay.
If you'll allow it.
Yeah, he gets to roll a roll then.
That's a 16.
Yes!
Oh,
Motherfucking is lying through his teeth.
Can people pick up on that, or just Donar?
Yeah, people are like nervous, and Ryan is like actually looking a little. Make an insight. Actually, everybody who's watching Ryan, make an insight check.
Donar is dead locked in on McGregor.
Thanks watching Ryan
Same.
for sure.
Brun got a 23.
Oh, that's better than mine. 10.
Brun, Ryan seems to know the truth.
Brun trying to catch Donar's locked, but he's gonna try anyway. He'll try to catch Donar's gaze and give a little point towards Ryan with his hat.
Make a standard charisma check.
Okay.
I would say performance, but it's just
11.
11. Donar, you notice. You see him kind of like, you see just a little bit of motion out of the corner of your eye. And it's Brun because, he doesn't make much.
Yeah.
All of his motions are very
pointed.
certain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I look up and I see Ryan looking. What's she doing?
Ryan has kind of stopped halfway up the stairs.
Excuse me, miss. I don't know you super well, but you were sitting back there on the couch together. Could you speak to these murders as well? Because the more information we have, the better. Once again,
She looks around, actually looking for a little bit of panic, a little bit. She kind of like looking for somebody.
It's all right. I see it. Hey, you're shaken. You've been through a bunch the last few days. I promise this is a safe room, and you'll be protected.
You notice, all rest of you, as he says that, you notice that all of the sheriffs and the captains of Sheriff Markwell is really close to Devessa, and Captain Arglath has stood up and getting ready for anything to happen.
The last thing we want is infighting in the Dale after what's gone down the last couple of days, and especially not in this room. I promise we'll keep you safe. Can you speak to these 2 murders?
1 second. Kai, go ahead.
It's a 13.
What the fuck is...
No one sees you. I don't think everybody's attention is so
McGregor
wrapped
still on the floor
on what's happening. However, he's still on the floor, right in the middle. Go ahead and move your token onto the. Ryan is on the stairs back here in the south east corner. As you come in, she's the only person in the room to see you.
I'm gonna walk right behind McGregor.
Okay.
And just stay silent for a minute.
And I wouldn't see Kai doing this if he's right behind.
To walk into the center of the room, I think everybody would see you, unless there's not really any hiding spots and people are really observing.
Yeah,
are you trying to
I'll
sneak
try
up
and
that
dive
close?
in.
Okay, make another stealth roll.
Could I aid him by distracting McGregor? Because I'm keeping an eye on both.
You can. Make it an advantage, Kai. Also, you notice that Kai is wearing his mask, your eye
It's
mask.
25.
And at this, because he has 25.
Let's
Okay,
go.
so nobody has seen you. So you're able to kind of keep low to the ground. And people are standing up in their seats and upset and angry and what's happening. And some of them are is there a fight going to break out? People are grabbing weapons ready to bare knuckle brawl. And Kai, what are you going to do?
Once I'm right behind him, I'm gonna use minor illusion to project my mask voice, almost as if it's a whisper in his ear. And it just says, I can speak to them.
And with a roar, he turns around and looks at you. And suddenly, you've never seen this happen. The hook, which isn't on his person, magically appears in his hand, the chain jangling from it. And he's ready to strike. What do you do?
I'm just gonna slowly back away from him, and I'm gonna pull the mask off and drop my hood back.
Oh.
5 stands up and completely not reading the room says, "Murderer!"
Oh my god.
Pointing at you.
Oh my god.
Brun just under his breath, damn.
And I just look to him and say, good to see you again.
Speaker Devessa stands up and says, "Can we have some calm here? Let's clear the room. Clear the room." And people are not going anywhere.
Donner's going to put his hands up and step forward and say, all right, hold on. Let's rein it in, everybody. I don't think we need to leave the room. I think we can get back to a nice conversation. A lot of things being thrown around. I didn't mean to interrupt the interaction that's happening center stage here.
Speaker Devessa goes up to 5 and says, "If you have accusations against this man, we will hear them." She turns around and says, "McGregor, we will talk. I need to know you can do that you can accomplish the things that you say you do." She says to you, Donar, "Right now, there's a dragon loose in this dale. We need to make sure it is dead. What can you do about it?"
Well, I was going to turn to our hero here. All he has to do is explain to us about the murders of the Rockwell man. And that should be information enough to let us know that he's capable of stopping the dragon. He's talking about trade. And Donar's going to put his hands up innocently, I'm just looking for more information. I don't know why people are barking at me. So, Mr. McGregor, if you could enlighten us just real fast, all you got to do is tell us.
It will take 10 days to get the ship to Revel's End. Then I can prove everything that I say I can do.
We're not talking about the ship. We're talking about these murders. The people need to be able to trust you. And Donar's going to shift his focus back up to Ryan and say,
you feel the audience kind of turn strongly toward your side.
Donar's going to shift his focus up to Ryan and say, once again, I understand. It's getting heated in here. It's getting scary. If you want to say something, now is the time.
She pulls out a stone, flashes it to McGregor. There's a flying snake symbol on it. The game's over, Meat Hook. You've lost.
Meat Hook? I'm sorry, Meat Hook? What's that all about?
And you just...
Donar's playing mad dumb.
And with that, he and like pulls his meat hook up in the air and flings it down. Actually, flings it at Kai. Roll initiative.
There we go. Whew. Oh God.
Brun, what you get?
14.
14. Kai.
10.
Trax.
19.
19. Fang.
13, even with advantage.
Donar.
5. Not good.
Spitz.
10.
Trax. What do you do?
So, seeing all that start to happen, he's also been kind of itching for McGregor to do something. So he's immediately going to throw a lightning bolt at him.
Okay.
First one, 25.
25, that hits.
That's going to be for 9 plus 2.
Okay, 11.
So 11, and I'm going to do it again.
Okay.
Same thing. For 7 points of damage. And while he's doing that, he's going to yell up to Willard. He's going to say, "Don't you move!"
Oh, I wouldn't miss this for the world.
Yeah, that's not him.
Brun.
While shit's popping off,
Yeah.
Kai will just yell, "Back the fuck off now!"
Where is McGregor here? Is he in front of Kai?
McGregor is like basically at the table.
Okay. Brun will take his movement, and he's kind of like vaulting and rolling over these benches in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
Just quick to action. He was sitting like the old man. He immediately gets up and is bolting into action, and he's not going to put the blade on the staff because he's preoccupied getting there throughout the hustle and bustle.
Yeah.
And he's gonna go he's gonna use the staff to attack twice, and for one of them he's going to do a superiority dice to try to trip him.
Okay.
So for the first one with just the staff, I don't think I've ever actually used only the staff. Is a 11 to hit.
Okay, 11 does not hit.
And the second is a 22.
That does hit.
Alright. So it's only gonna do 10 damage, but with the superiority dice, it adds 2 more. So it's 12 total damage, and he has to make a strength saving throw of 15.
That's a 14 plus 5. Yeah, for sure. Okay. 19.
Cool. Then he's fine, but
yeah, he just kind of you hit him,
grill.
and it's just kind of like he's so stocky that he just don't even he doesn't even budge.
Yeah, had to try. But then he's just got that stare into his eyes that he does.
Fang.
Fang takes his full movement up toward the front of the room, gets right about to like the first row of chairs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he looks at McGregor. Doesn't need to make eye contact necessarily, but tries to, and brings his thumb and his first 2 fingers to his face and kind of like makes a pulling motion like down his nose but from his eyes, and then points 2 fingers at McGregor and casts blindness.
Okay. Is it a saving
He has to make
throw?
a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, we got 19 plus. Well, the natural 19.
Yeah, he saves. And just, damn it. And that's it.
Ryan runs up the stairs and across the railing and is on top of the railing. And she gets to there. And she's like looking at you, Kai, inside. And she kind of like is motion, like she's shaking her head toward the door. It's like, just get out of here.
Is it my turn?
Yeah. Well, she just kind of like did a free action to. It will be basically it's your turn, but she's like looking for you, holding an action, seeing what you're going to do. And she's like, let's get out of here. And she kind of nods at you. I
take one step up where I'm kind of even with Brun, looking down at McGregor, or looking up at McGregor, I guess. And I hold out my hand, and electricity starts to crackle around it.
Okay.
And I hold my arm out to the side, right next to Brun's head. I said, back off. And I just hold it there.
Anything else?
That's it.
Spitz.
Okay, well, in light of that, Spitz is gonna run up and hop up onto the stage.
Mm-hmm.
And position herself in front of all of the speakers.
You see, make a perception check.
Yes, I will. It's not great. 12.
Fife has 2 daggers pulled out, and he's got them between his fingers, like he's getting ready to throw them.
Okay. She is going to be there. She's gonna yell over to any of the speakers, "Get behind me if you need protection!"
And they do. They just basically,
Great.
they holding an action, getting out of the way. You see, Fife does not move.
Yeah. And she'll have her shield out ready, and she also takes out a javelin and just is holding an action.
Mm-hmm.
If McGregor comes, like, even looks at the speakers like he's gonna do something, she's chucking it at him.
Donar.
Donar, first seeing Spitz stand in front of the speakers, he's gonna go downstage and stand by Spitz and cover any of the speakers who can't get behind her, even though she's 8 feet tall.
7'2".
7'2". Yeah. It's taller than Donar. In one fell motion, Donar is going to put on his shutter shades with his left hand, and with his right hand, he's going to twist his wrist like he's turning on a gas stovetop, and he's going to say, Mitne. And that's how he casts Fairy Fire on McGregor.
Okay.
So he needs to make a dex save to beat 15.
Okay. He rolls a 10. However, he chooses to succeed.
Fuck! Alright. It would have looked cool. Would have looked cool.
You just see him kind of like focus and rage and like the purple, whatever the color. What color is your fairy fire?
It was going to look kind of like purple, blackish, like everything else, but almost like a black light kind of purple.
Yes. And he just kind of like shake and then like boom, away from him and dissipates.
And Donar's going to say, all right, new plan. And he's going to address the group talking and say, any guards who want to help out? This man I don't think he's who he says he is.
Back
Seems pretty fraudulent.
Off!
Yeah, back off. And Donar, I guess, has a bonus action.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay, so can you hold bonus actions?
No.
For somebody to do something? Okay. Then he's just going to, with his, back off, he's just going to give Kai Bardic Inspiration as a bonus action for whatever comes next. That's it.
McGregor, who rolled a 4, takes the meat hook. Me and you, just like last time, huh?
Why don't we have a chat?
We'll have a chat in hell. And he rolls, let's see. That is a 19 on the first attack.
I'm going to cast shield as a reaction.
Okay.
Just blocking it.
Okay.
And saying, we should really talk.
Go ahead, talk. As he swings again. That is a dirty 20. And the third attack will go on.
Stop.
And he holds the hook right up to your throat. Like he just kind of stops.
And I just sit there and I don't move. Don't even react to it.
Say it. Say what you have to say.
And I turn back and look to Brun and everyone else who's gathering around and just say, back off.
Speaker Nimsy gets the people who are behind Spitz and gets them back against the wall. Like sees the fury in Kai's eyes. There's not fury, but like just concentration, steadfastness. It gets the speakers and the people on the dais back in a way.
If Spitz notices that, she'll go with them. Her whole intention is protecting them.
Okay. I'm going to hold combat here until something happens. Kai's he's holding in the hook.
Can I ready an action?
Yes. Well, it depends on what it is, I think.
Okay. Could I ready a grapple?
What's the trigger?
Meat hook attacking anything.
Who are you grappling?
Meat hook.
I'll allow that. Because you're right there.
Mm-hmm. Do what you must do now, Kai.
I will when you back off.
No.
The meeting of stubborn minds has begun.
Fuck you, Ron.
Donar, why don't you step against the wall with everyone else?
You got it. Brun, I think, remember before you put your faith in Kai? I think it's time to do it again. Just a few feet. You're still going to be able to see everything that's happening. Donar saying this as he backs up to where Spitz is. You'll still have eyes on the situation. We gotta trust him. We gotta do it now.
He gets 5 feet.
Listen to me. There is wisdom more than just teaching.
What do you know of teaching?
If you open your ears and I'll teach you a lesson.
Brun, it's time, dude.
Brun's gonna sit on this bench and he'll take his hat off, put it in his lap, and say, "Teach me, Kai."
Right now, I'm teaching you to listen.
I am listening. Speak,
Your
child.
hero routine will get you killed. You think you can stand against anything. I'm telling you, you cannot.
And what are you going to do now? What is happening, Kai? Do what you're here to do. We have things to do without you.
Everyone against the wall.
And everybody just like backs off. Like starts like kind of like quickly getting out of seats.
And I start lecturing Meat Hook. Did you think that you could hide from me?
You're supposed to be dead. Twice over.
Sometimes I wish I still was.
I can take care of that for you.
All accounts will be balanced soon enough. Did you know that when you kill someone, you fracture a part of their soul and yours? You literally embed in someone. You taught me how to kill.
You're good at it.
And because of that, there's so much shrapnel in me. Sometimes I don't know who I am. But there's also a piece of me in you. And I could feel it. I knew you were close. No matter where you hid, I could feel you. So I was going to find you. And I knew I couldn't beat you. We've been fighting dragons and Duragar and fuck all else. But another thing I've learned is to be smart. Always hold all the cards. Never let anyone know what to expect. And I make that same little bolt of electricity come back on just my finger.
And you see like white knuckles around the hilt of the beat hook.
And I run it up near my belly button underneath my crop top.
Mm-hmm.
And I just rake it up the crop top, cutting it open.
His clothing falls away, and you see 3 glowing glyphs of magic written onto his skin. And everybody goes, "What did you do, Kai?"
So what do you say? And I look over at the green cloaked ranger, and I just say, I told you I would answer for what I've done.
"Killing yourself is no sacrifice," he says.
All accounts are balanced all the same. And with that, I am going to throw a high kick towards McGregor's head.
Okay, before you do, he has his held action, so he's going to get his reaction off. And that's a natural 3, so he misses.
I'm just going to stop the meat hook with my hand,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just going to push it back while I kick. So when I throw the kick,
Mm-hmm.
it's actually a feint, and the kick is going to miss his head and lock back around the front of his neck.
Okay.
Then I'm going to rotate my other arm off the meat hook and grab his pinky finger,
Mm-hmm.
and with my other arm, grab his index finger, kick my other leg up in front of him, and yank back and get him in an arm bar where my body is locked around his left arm.
Okay, I'd like you to make a grapple at advantage.
I would like to cash in my wedding present, natural 20.
Josh, you have one of those. I don't know if you saw it in the
Oh.
Discord, but you do have one of those too.
I missed that. Okay, good to
Yeah.
know.
Fuck
Holy
yeah.
I rolled a natural 1 for his. Yeah.
Happy nuptials, dude.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, so you do that, and you've got him in an arm bar.
With that, I look to Brun, and I just say, always hold all the cards. And my eyes kind of glance across the wall at all the suns, and back to Ryan. And as my eyebrows lift just ever so much, the trigger happens.
And she shouts, "No! Kai!" And
Have McGregor make a deck save.
it's at disadvantage because you're grappled. It'd be a 19 and a natural 2.
68 points of thunder damage.
Okay. McGregor, there's like boom, flash of light. McGregor goes down on the ground, unconscious. Kai
That also affects me.
yeah. And Kai is lying there.
Kai is not lying there.
Kai's not lying there.
Kai had 8 hit points left.
That puts you above double your max, right?
Yep.
Ryan runs up to where your body was. And she's just crying. And then suddenly she takes off running for the exit. What do you all do?
Donar's not doing anything. Donar's frozen.
Fang is at the exit.
Do you let Ryan go by?
I'm reading. I want an insight checker or something.
Yeah, make an
Read
insight check
the
on her.
But I want to read the emotion on her face, whether she's running in distress or she's running like on a mission.
Got it. Make an insight check.
16.
I'm going to send you a message.
Spitz, having barely known Kai, of course is sad, but is going to run immediately to McGregor, see if he's alive, see if he's dead. If he's alive, like, tie him the fuck up.
He's failed 1 death save.
Okay, she's just gonna let that keep happening, but just, like, on lookout if he has any allies, and will fight them. She's got her great axe ready.
Upon seeing Spitz move, Donar would kind of shake himself awake and silently check in with Brun to see if he was damaged at all. I wasn't sure of the radius.
If he was in 20 feet, he got that too.
That would be a yes. What do I have to do? Or is it...
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I was typing something. What
Dex
happened?
save, right?
Yeah, dex save.
I'll choose to fail. He would have sit and watched it. He wouldn't have tried to get out of the blow.
What's your maximum?
Max
Yeah,
HP?
because it was 68.
58.
58? Okay.
I'll be alright, yeah.
So Donar seeing...
So I'm out.
Donar... fuck. I'm out of spell slots. So Donar will just sprint down to... leaping off the stage to Brun, slumped over, and yell for Fang.
Fang, reading what he can on her face, locks, if he can, locks eyes with her. Does she look at him?
She does look at him, yes.
Then with, I guess, the kindest but most serious look he can, he uses his connection with Pinky on his ear to, as an action, cast Detect Thoughts on her. She has, it's a DC 13.
Okay. She fails.
He barrels right through her thoughts, doesn't pry so much as then uses a bonus action to send a telepathic message to her. And so in her head, he's making eye contact and he says, "It does not matter to me where you are going. It only matters to me that you send a message when you are there. This involves all of us. Kai was our friend too." And she can use a bonus action to reply if she wants to.
She says in your mind, "It's all going to be okay." And she runs past you.
While that's happening...
Go ahead,
And then
Trax.
Fang will rush to the middle.
Okay.
With everybody else.
While that was happening...
Donar is yelling. He's yelling, "Fang, Trax!" He's yelling for
Trax,
people. Fucking
Trax would
healers.
have gotten there, and he tossed a spider down. He's just kind of like stoic, walking forward, and he just takes out of his pouch. He takes one of his little healing spiders and tosses it onto Brun for 13 points.
You come back to consciousness, and you look down, and you don't look that badly hurt. It definitely knocked the wind out of you, but you're back up.
Now what?
Spitz, as she is very intently staring at McGregor, will just say...
Who makes another death saving throw with... This is the Starbuck dice.
That's a natty one.
He did.
Well, that answers the question.
Natty one,
Word.
listeners. That's a natty one.
Yep. And the blood has stopped trickling, and he is no longer breathing.
Oh, looking up, Spitz will just then say, "Is everyone else okay? Does anyone else need any help?" And look around the room.
Everybody seemed to clear, like they're kind of in shock on the ground. The light from the explosion kind of knocked people down, like they just weren't expecting it. You see Nimsy and Edra Dermute come up to the edge of the... It's like looking around. I think everybody's okay. I don't see anyone injured. And you see a young teenager who's kind of like fell weird and bruised, but other than that, no injuries. Michonne says, "Copper, did you get all that?" Copper says, "Fuck you. I'm not in church. I can say fuck."
Wait, were they still at that table?
No, they ran away. They're not.
They stayed at the table throughout it?
They were
Just fighting
underneath.
right on top of them.
They were both underneath the table. Okay.
You never know, man.
Yeah. Speaker Devessa stands up and says, "Thank you for revealing him to be the bloodthirsty murderer that you accused him of being." And Fife says, "And justice has been done today."
Fuck off. What kind of justice is that? You said it yourself. I wasn't going to help anybody. Justice. Who's it going to help?
My conscience. The family of Olivesa.
Okay. For the family. Otherwise, I don't want you on my team.
You were never on my team.
Yeah, fuck off.
And he leaves.
All this talk of teams and cards, These towns are not a game. We are here to help them, and that is that. What are we going to do?
We have received word, Duvessa says, that the dragon flew south to the mountains, and great clanging and metal engines can be heard coming from the mountain. We need somebody to go and take it out now. Will you be those people?
Spitz takes the axe in her hand and goes, yes, we will.
And that's where we're going to call it for the evening. Epilogue. Actually, are you ready to do something, Kai? I mean, Blake?
Yeah.
The camera goes outside to a destroyed building, and there's a man. Actually, I don't even know what you look like.
He is an elvish-looking figure with somewhat ashy, fair skin, long, shoulder-length, dark hair, kind of undercut, but like braided back with many different braids and beads. He's got these two pink lines that kind of line his upper cheekbones. And he's wearing a mostly dark, kind of dingy clothes, but he also has on like a long, fluffy, lavender-colored cardigan.
The man is digging through the rubble of a house, and he finds a body, pulls it out, and starts intoning something over the body, laying his hands on its chest. Then you see him, the camera sees him, look to the sky, give a sly smile, and we will be meeting more of him next week, or next whenever the next game is.
Oh, shit.
My name is Ron Murphy, and you can find me on Twitter at Ron88KeysRBDM. Please subscribe and leave us a review on Podchaser or Apple Podcasts, and share us with all your friends. Follow us on Twitter at Severed Sons DND. Thank you to Wizards of the Coast, D&D Beyond, Roll20, and thank you to Syrinscape, Andre Sitkoff, and the Monument Studios for the amazing sound effects and music. Stay frosty!
Oh, yeah.